Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. This is not your first time. Thank you for coming back. Right now, we're going to be doing a ClairTarot reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Let me just make sure the live doesn't end. So I'm going to pull some cards. I had asked the Capricorn energy what this reading is going to be about, just a generalized idea. So first off, this is not a personal reading. This is a general reading for the Capricorn collective energy. Please do not make serious life decisions based off of a video, any video. This is simply to help you gain clarity on confirmation that some of you are potentially receiving. We're not going to try and point fingers or force any of this to fit our lives if it doesn't immediately resonate. Oh, I left out some cards. Hold on. Let's just add these to the mix. That would be good, right? Right? Shuffling a full deck would be good. Hold on. Oh my God, I made a huge mess. How are you guys feeling through all of this lunar intensity? And then we have Mercury retrograde happening just before Halloween. So as soon as this lunar energy starts to calm down, it's going to be another 2 to 3 weeks of Mercury energy, Mercury retrograde energy. So that's going to be fun for everyone. Except for me, I'm going to be hiding in a cave with my little torch and some marshmallows. That's what my plan is. Hide in a cave with a torch and marshmallows. So I asked the Capricorn energy, what is this reading going to be about? And I was told you're sure footing. Okay, your footing is sure. It's secure. Keep climbing. So this kind of made me think of two things. That some of us are struggling a little bit with, insecurities rising up, self-doubt, things like that. But we're doing the work that we need to do. And so keep going. You're doing amazing. And then another thought came up and I hope this thought does not resonate with anyone. But the other thought was very much opposing, which means someone, something, a group, I don't know, is actively attempting to derail you from your progress. Okay, so let's just see what happens. Okay, yes, okay. And let's get you your last set of cards. Re-add these. So this is looking like, ooh, that's what this is looking like. No, it's not looking that bad. That's just messing around. Let's see. Just going to shuffle a little bit more. Oh, and I don't know. I think some of you are going through a very intense circumstance. I might have to pull more cards for clarification in the middle of the reading. We'll see. We'll definitely see. All right. So here goes. Card number 9, what do you feel? And this probably has more to do with those who are experiencing self-doubt more than anything, okay? If you're experiencing self-doubt, what aspects of yourself are you comparing and who are you comparing them to? What are you comparing them to? Is comparison really necessary? Because you are so unique in your own right that for you to compare yourself to someone else would be like comparing apples and oranges. And then in addition to that, how are you ever really going to fully compare when you're so caught up and distracted by everyday life? Capricorn, this card is giving me the feeling that it's time for you to do some prioritizing, some reorganizing in your list of priorities, okay? You're too focused, for some of you, you're too focused on your perception of what the best life for you is. Sometimes the best life is one you just allow to naturally unfold. Don't get too caught up in creating what you perceive in your mind to be the best life possible, because that's not always the best life for you. Okay. Things that have to do with achieving very, very visible goals. And basically, what it comes down to, if I'm going to be really blunt, which I am a really blunt person, if you're going to keep living your life in such a way where you're trying to acquire or achieve things just to prove that you can do this because people are watching, you're going to have a really miserable life. Okay? Because no matter how much you achieve, no matter how much you acquire, those people that keep watching are comparing, and they're going to keep trying to outdo you. They're going to keep looking for reasons why that wasn't enough, why that achievement wasn't as amazing as it really actually is. So why don't you just live? Okay, you want to achieve something, make sure it's something that is making you feel very fulfilled, not just for the sake of achieving, putting another tick mark on the list of achievements. Okay, that's not living. It's not. That's actually avoiding your true spiritual path, your growth. So we have card number 24, Bestia, home. You have to go back home into yourself. Center yourself in your existence. We're no longer going to be orbiting around other people who are watching us, judging us, because the people who are watching, who consistently watch your personal life unfolding, those people can be one of two things, or one of three things. Just someone who is passing by and is intrigued and curious, someone who's watching because they're rooting for you. They're like, yes, just a little bit more. You almost got this. You almost got this. Yes, you got it. And then the third, which is the most common, look at this fucker. I'm going to keep watching until you fail, because I know you're going to fail. I'm banking on you failing. So I'm going to keep watching until you fail. In addition to that, I'm going to watch what you do, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to succeed to prove to you that I'm above you. So you know what? None of that has anything to do with you. None of that. Regardless of whichever of the three the watcher is, none of that has anything to do with you. Your footing is secure. You are climbing a mountain. You are a freaking goat. Okay? You are on a mountain right by the ocean. Guess what? Capricorn is a sea goat. If you fall into the ocean, you're still fine. So no matter what, Capricorn, you're fine. So just start living. Start living. Instead of being so worried about, oh, what if I fall? Well, you're a fucking sea goat. That's water. You swim. Climb or swim, your choice. That's like when someone pisses me off, I like to give them options. Throat or stomach. What am I punching? I'm messing around. I don't punch people. So go back home to yourself. Okay. Go back home to your centeredness, that point of stillness where you're not trying to prove anything and you're not trying to help yourself cope with the fact that you're not enough. Because that's kind of like the gist of where Capricorn has a tendency to go. Okay. Trying to prove you're enough and trying to cope with not being enough. Those are the two extremes. We want to be in the middle, where we can like explore different aspects of ourselves and really begin to recognize who we are, what we're doing in this life as a soul. Okay. So card number 31, Lorelei. It's that lulling energy again, the trying to keep you tethered to something that's just so mundane. You're beyond that. You are beyond that, Capricorn. Okay. You don't even need a boat. All right. This little mermaid hussy is just so jealous that you have horns and you can climb and she can't. She can only swim. So don't let none of this slow you down. The only time you slow down is when you need to catch your breath, when you need a break. That's okay. That's not weakness. That's not stupid. That's necessary. So let's see. Card number 20, softly, softly, the tender touch. And, Capricorn, we have a tendency to really be somewhat excessive in our expressions. A little bit, a little bit. We can be a little bit too blunt. We can be a little bit too honest. And this is something that I'm really trying to learn. I'm not trying to just finesse my way through it. I'm actually wanting to learn this at this point. That delicate balance between being honest and being too honest. So, are you being too honest with yourself, aka harsh? Softly, softly, the tender touch. Look at all of that energy coming out her mouth as her crown opens up and she activates higher levels of being. And look at the tears that come from her eyes. Maybe this is an acknowledgement of how harsh you are to yourself. And your higher self is like, please, let's be gentle. Let's be soft. There's power in that gentle softness. There's so much power in that. And maybe that's what we need to tap more into. Maybe we have to stop climbing for a little bit and allow ourselves to free fall back into our ocean of greatness. Swim around for a little bit, play in the water. Okay? So card number 37, Morgan, Death and Magic. So, okay, we're going to be falling. I'm sorry. We're going to be falling. And it's going to cause a spiritual it's probably going to make us feel as though there's a circumstance coming that's probably going to make us feel as though we are plummeting to our spiritual death. And that's okay. Yes! 64% at 10-10. 10-10-10. What up? 23 and 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. And 5. I'm just saying, you guys. All of these mirrors. So many mirrors. You have mirrors in front of you all day, every day in other people. There are parts of you that are needing to be put to rest. This is the process of shedding the old. We are extracting ourselves from this very paradigm of competition. And it's time to allow that competitive nature to just rest, to be put to rest. Push that fucker off the cliff, let it drown in the ocean. Okay? Let it be transmuted back to something that can help further sustain you. Card number 48, Night Ride. Sometimes it's in that darkness that your memories come back, okay? Elephants have very long memories, so does your soul. Sometimes it's in the night that you begin, the dark night of the soul, that you begin to remember the greatness that you actually are, the things that you came into this life to experience. And sometimes, Capricorn, you need to allow yourself to be sheltered under the wing of someone else, another pair of wise wings, okay? Owls represent wisdom, and Capricorn, this whole mentality of, you got this, you do it yourself, it's not going to serve you here, okay? You've already kind of been stripped bare. A lot of people, not just Capricorn, but a lot of people have been going through a very intense ascension process, and much of their circle has been stripped away from them. They're feeling very isolated and very alone. And I mean, for a period of time, that's necessary. But when you become overloaded with the lessons and you can no longer process, then you need to lean on someone. You need to just allow yourself to cuddle up under someone's wing and just sit there for a moment. Know that you're not alone and that there's someone there that understands and has their wings sheltering you from the storm. There's nothing weak about that, okay? What's weak is not being able to have the courage to admit when you need someone to help you, okay? That's weak. Card number 29, Seeing the True You. Sometimes in allowing ourselves to be soft, to be weak, and letting others help us, we see the truth of who we are to ourselves and who we are to other people. Sometimes it's only when you're going through a serious life crisis that you get the gravity and the clarity of who's actually your friend, who's actually there to support you. There's people who and you call them your best friend. You've known them for years and you have a family emergency, and where the fuck are they? Having fun with their other best friends. I'm sorry, I can't take your call right now. I'm out. Oh, you have family emergency? Oh, I'm so sorry. Love and light to you. I'm just saying, guys. Now is the time you're going to actually see. You're going to see the truth of who you are and the truth of who you are to other people. How they value you or don't value you. How much they're willing to do to assist you or how little. Okay? Let them show you the truth. Stop trying to explain it away. Let them show you. Allow yourself to actually see who they are to you. Okay? Yi, card number 51, the sun. It's time for you to begin shining. It's time for you to allow yourself to charge. Okay, Capricorn? You're very depleted at this point. You've been going and going and going for quite a long time, and it's time to recharge. There's nothing wrong or weak about slowing down for a moment, allowing yourself to just kind of swim in your own waters. Okay, just let yourself swim in your waters for a little bit. Allow yourself to just float along, relax. Let yourself lay on the beach of your heart, and the light of your truth, like the sun, warm you up, get you all nice and toasty. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to be able to love yourself in that way. Okay, it's not always go, go, go. We have a plan. We have lists. We got deadlines. You know, that doesn't always work. Card number 51, the moon and back. This is about your totality returning to you. Look at this. Okay. Card number 51, card number 51. Okay. It's the same thing. Okay. They're the same thing. The sun, the moon, and back. Okay. You're going to both your polarities. You're needing now to exist in the centeredness of your totality. You are loved from the sun to the moon and back. Allow yourself to be loved by other people. Allow yourself to receive. These are both card number 51, right? 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 is the number of self-love, of receiving, a recognition of you being a lower involuted reflection of the God number 9. Allow yourself to be an emptied cup. The cup is at its most useful when it's empty. That's when you can be replenished. Holding on to old stagnant things doesn't replenish you. So release it. Let it go. Rinse yourself off. And then allow yourself to be refilled. Fresh coffee is amazing. Okay. Card number 24, new birth guarded vigilantly. So here it is. You've experienced death and magic. You've experienced dark night of the soul, a night ride. Okay. Now you're being reborn. You're choosing to rise up and being reborn into a fortified version of yourself. Okay. 2 plus 4 is still 6. It's still asking you to allow yourself to receive. Receive. Allow yourself. Allow it to happen. You know, many of us, I know this is something that's very common. Many of us have an issue allowing ourselves to receive because people who have given to us in the past gave with strings attached. They supported and gave, and then they owned you. And so now you've learned, I have a wall up. I'm not allowing myself to receive anything because people have fucked me over in the past. It hasn't been a fair exchange. Well, you know what? That's the past. That had to happen for you to learn. So now trust in yourself enough to understand you've learned that lesson. You'll know when the giving comes with strings attached, and you'll have the courage to say no. Just like you'll know when the giving is genuine and unconditional, no strings attached, and you'll have the courage, as difficult as it is, you'll have the courage to say, okay, I'm going to trust you enough to accept this. And I'm scared. I'm scared you're going to screw me over. I'm scared you're going to repeat that. But I'm going to trust my soul enough to guide me away from the people who do this and bring to me the people who don't. Trust in yourself, trust in your path. You know, yeah, conditional love isn't love. It's a barter. That's what it is. Conditional love is a barter. If you're loving someone and loving someone and doing things because you love them, and then you expect to have the same level of help because you did that, you know, I let you borrow my truck. Now you have to let me borrow your truck when I want. Oh, did you help me to help me, or did you help me because you're expecting something later on? And if you're expecting something later on, that's not helping. Okay, that's a barter. That's an unspoken barter. It's a business exchange. Okay, here we go. Card number 12, Ellen, patterns. There we go. That's what we were just talking about. Patterns. Patterns from the past can remain in the past. Once you've learned what those patterns are, what those patterns are trying to teach you, they can be put in the past and stay there. The lesson only circles back round if you continue to avoid it and refuse to learn what you're actually supposed to learn. Okay? So it's not bad luck. It's not screwed up people. It's your avoidance. Recognize the root causation of your struggle, your avoidance. And why are you avoiding? Because you're afraid. And there's nothing wrong with fear. Fear brings your field of awareness to the very place it needs to be. The things that need your attention are brought to your attention by fear, through fear. So recognize the patterns. It's not going to circle back around if you already recognize what the pattern is. If you have the ability to identify, follow the strings, and understand your intuition is guiding you to accept that this is circling back around to be the same thing. And you have to be able to say no. Like there was something that happened recently. Intuition told me that it's gonna circle back around. It's gonna be some fucked up shit. Okay, that's uncomfortable. I'm gonna have to say no. Yeah, it's a bit awkward. I feel kind of badly, and I'm kind of worried this person is gonna take it in a way where it's negative, and then they're gonna no. No, my intuition says this is a no. This is a lesson circling back around. Time for you to put into practice what you've learned those freaking 10 fucking times in how many months that shit has happened and it's ended up the same way again. So do you really need an 11th lesson, or are you ready to learn it? Okay, I'm just going to say no. Just no. I don't need to explain anything. Just no. And then I'm going to trust my soul guided me to this no, and it's going to be fine. I'm going to move forward. Okay? You just have to get to that point where it's like, how many times do you have to be kicked in the teeth for you to understand that when you see someone pulling their leg back, they're getting ready to kick you in your teeth? I mean, if your teeth are missing, you're like, oh, well, let's just watch and see because my teeth are already missing. Well, you still got lips, fool. You still got lips. They're going to kick you in your lips. It's still going to hurt. It's still going to hurt. So no more. And wow. Okay, card number 6, listening. You have to listen. You have to listen. If you want to go ahead and see that 6, it's still 6. Receiving. Allow yourself to receive the guidance that's going to grow. And look at the flowers, they're yellow. That's going to grow your personal power. Even her hair is a shade of yellow. Yellow being the solar plexus being your personal power. You're being asked to grow, to be rooted in your power and not be ashamed that you are powerful in your own right. There is nothing egoistic, elitist, or any of that about recognizing your power. When you begin the comparing thing, which is what your soul is like, okay, that's a waste of your time. That's where you start getting into trouble. But look, is she comparing anything? No. She's listening. She's listening quietly. She's sitting in stillness and allowing the messages of her soul to root her in her own power. And that's what you're needing to do at this point, Capricorn. That's absolutely what you're needing to do at this point. Let's get you guys a message from your higher self. So let's see. There we go. Let's do this. And then I'm taking a nap and then I have sessions. So let's see. And there's nothing wrong with pushing yourself until you recognize that you're pushing a little too hard. Okay? There's nothing wrong with stopping once you recognize you're pushing yourself a little too hard. A little push is not bad. It's not bad. But pushing yourself to the point of injury just to prove, that's bad. Okay, Capricorn? I'm being reminded by Soul, and I'm being asked to share. I maxed out the weights when I was doing hip thrusts this morning. I did my all-time max of 244. And I already did 10 at 244 pounds. And I haven't worked out in 2 weeks. My body's atrophied. And I maxed it out. And I got to 10 and I could feel something was going to happen to my hip. And my Capricorn brain was like, keep fucking pushing. It's only 5 more. Keep pushing. Keep pushing so you could say, like, I did 5 more. I'm at 15. And then I was like, no, it's time to stop. Who are you trying to impress? What are you trying to prove? You've shown to yourself you can do something that goes beyond your comfort zone. You've already stretched your inner and understanding of yourself enough today. At a certain point, that stretching is going to snap. So just stop. And so I stopped and I didn't injure myself and I feel perfectly fine. And for a moment when I stopped, when I unstrapped myself from that machine, I felt myself telling myself, you're such a fucking wuss. It was only 5 more. And then I was like, no, don't strap yourself back in that. You're going to hurt yourself. And as soon as I got up off the machine, I was like, well, then you're going to max out on leg presses because you need to make up for that weight. And I was about to go to the leg press machine. I was going to try and clear the rack. And, that's like 500 pounds. And then I was like, it's not even leg day. What are you trying to prove? For numbers that you don't even show anyone? What are you trying to prove? Why are you punishing yourself? So because you couldn't punish yourself on that machine, you're going to punish yourself on another machine? Why don't you just sip your fucking juice and get in the car and go make breakfast for the kids? And so that's what I did. And when I sat in the car, I was like, that was different. I'm actually feeling good. I don't feel like I kicked my own ass. Like I pushed myself to an extreme, but I knew when to stop. I knew when to kind of back down. And it's sometimes it's okay to not even be in competition with yourself. Because I had to learn. It took me years to learn to not compete with other people. And this is a Capricorn thing that I struggle with, competing with other people. And I'm not vocal about the competition. I just like, okay, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you. And I stopped competing with other people and I became my own target and I would compete with myself. And now I'm learning I don't even have to compete with myself. Sometimes I could just push to the point where it helps me to recognize I'm expanding my limitations. I'm growing, and then back away and be like, okay, that's enough. That's good. That's good. We're good. We're good here. We don't have to go all the way over there limping with a fucking broken ass hip. Because girl, you're not 20 anymore. That's just not going to heal right. So that's something you have to really choose to do, Capricorn. Okay? Right now with the lunar energy the way it is, and then Mercury's coming up, all of these gritty parts of yourself are rising to the surface. So these thoughts is going to flood your brain, okay? You're sure-footed. That works. If you're aware of where you're at on your spiritual path, you know exactly where to put your feet. It's when you're not aware of how much you're doing, when you're running all freaking crazy because you're just trying to get to the end zone and no one's even chasing you. No one's chasing you. You could just slow the fuck down and enjoy at a leisurely pace. I'm just saying, I'm talking to my own inner Capricorn. Card number 24, resplendent with grace. Ooh, see what I'm saying? Carrying through to the grounding, the need to ground, the need to lean back with grace and free fall into your greatness. That theme of personal power. See how that yellow up top, just a vortex of personal power. That's what you are. You're a vortex of personal power. And look, she's not even trying. She's not challenging. She's not competing. She is resplendent with grace, just leaning back into the greatness that she is. And that's what we need to channel. Oh, again, 6. 2 plus 4 is 6. Capricorn, y'all are at 6s right now. 6. So card number 24. Yeah. That's a very important number for Capricorn, apparently. 6. So here goes. Greetings from my heart to you who are always with me. Hidden inside is the heart. You are the compass of my life. My course is your way no matter where I go. You exist everywhere and in everything, always watching over us. My soul brightens in the darkness when I speak your name. Far beyond the body, there's an opening from my heart into yours. Through that opening, I send you secret messages like the moonlight. I polish the mirror of my heart to be your reflection. I make my ear the receiver for the tenderness of your words. You are the ear. You are in the mind. You are in every burning heart. What am I saying? You are I. This is my way to describe you. Your divine grace clothes me in robes of sky blue and blood red, as a shimmering galaxy of compassion within the field of which no being is excluded. The darkness of night is illuminated, and all creatures are bathed in the fine golden hue of your presence. There is only beauty beheld now, for there's nothing that's not of your artistry, of your divine hand, generous with its grace. Is it difficult to see your magnificence? Without a mirror the size of a galaxy, how could you possibly witness all that you are? See, when you compete with others, it's because you don't witness yet the gravity of your reflection. You don't quite understand yet exactly how amazing you are. And once you realize that you no longer compete, you're just focused on cultivating more of that greatness, allowing more from that seed of greatness that's been buried in your shadows to grow, to emerge from the ground, from being buried. This is a process, and it's not something that just happens overnight. You must just catch glimpses of your truth now and then. If you could see yourself as I see you in all your glorious fullness of being, you are clothed in robes of grace, so light and freeing that they do not weigh you down, and yet so luscious and full that you cannot help but stir the movement of all of creation as you step this way and that. Of course, it matters not to grace whether you see or don't see, for grace simply is, without witnessing being required. Yet you might live rather differently should you realize you're not only worthy of grace, but actually dripping with it, saturated with divine presence so rich it leaks out of you and causes sunlight to pool at your holy feet. So yes, you are resplendent in holiness and sanctity. Should you come to know this as I do, you would take each step with awe and reverence. You would decide that nothing in your world could be classed as mundane, and decide with bold fervor that you are living in godliness and must create your world through choices that honor love. This oracle comes to you with a message. You may be wondering if you can attain this next stage of growth in your life. You are already well equipped to do so, no matter what you might believe about the situation. You have within your soul possession more than enough grace to see you through anything you are bold enough to envision for yourself, or for any vision you feel life has bestowed upon you. So pray through unconditional love to access all that you are, to be supported by those things that love you without condition. Pray to realize that you are drenched in sacred grace, that the well of your being is full. All that's needed to nurture you into the next step of your life path is within you now. Success is yours, but you must believe in your ability, your readiness, and your capacity to take this next phase of the journey now. How could it be otherwise, for you are one with grace? Ooh, I love that verse. She is clothed in strength and dignity. I love that verse. I love that verse so much. I have it on my desktop. Let me just get it. It's right here. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Proverbs 31, verse 25 to 28. Love it. Love it. So now is a time for you to rise up from your idleness and recognize pausing, slowing down is not idleness, okay? Sometimes it's in that mundane humming forward at great speeds that is the idleness. So do what you need to do, grow in the ways you need to grow. Give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. Bye, guys.